Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to Laura's Dose of Stamping Therapy. Today, I'm sharing with you an idea that actually came to me at like the crack of dawn last week when Claire woke up early and then ended up going back to bed, and I did not because this one did not either. So I started laying there in bed and was thinking of different projects and stuff. So I decided to come downstairs and play. And this is one of those projects. So now I want to share it with all of you guys because it hits a couple things that I am needing right now: masculine cards, playing with celebration goodies, and quick and simple. So I'm using the corner bouquet, and you might be thinking masculine cards, but I see this a lot, especially this image, which is the one that I used. I see it as like grasses or wheat or something. Like, I don't really think there's actually wheat in there, and I'm pretty sure that's a flower. But just as that like silhouette image, it looks very like simple and masculine. So this one a little bit more feminine with more flowers and stuff. And of course, it all comes down to what color you use. And then of course, this little twig I used on the inside of my card. So I have those pieces. Then I also just chose my favorite greeting stamp set, which right now is, well, right now slash still. I super love the scrolly font of the Peaceful Moments stamp set, so I went ahead and pulled that one out. There's a couple other ones that are actually in the mini catalog that I'm not sure why I didn't grab, because there's some good ones there, but I needed a nice big happy birthday greeting too. So that was another reason why I grabbed this one, and it was early morning. So what are you gonna do? Good morning, Becky. How are you? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Okay, so I can either show you guys the samples and then make one with you, or I can make one first and then show you the additional samples. I kind of played around with 3 different colors. I actually used Sahara Sand. I liked that lighter tan look than Crumb Cake, which was really weird. But again, it was early morning, so you never know what's going to happen. And then I went with Mossy Meadow and Night of Navy. I'm actually doing the Mossy Meadow one today as my sample. So because I went ahead and I did 2 Mossy Meadow and 2 Night of Navy, because remember, 1 sheet of cardstock yields 2 card bases. So I went ahead and decided to make those 4. So this is the 4th card. Although I really need more than 4 for my giant family and all the birthdays that I have this year. So, but of course, I'm not going to make necessarily enough for everyone this year, because new designs and ideas will definitely come out between now and the end of the year. So I really just need a few to get me through a couple months including March and probably April. I'm hoping to have all of my March cards done before March 1st so that they're just ready to be sent out. We'll see what happens with April. Okay, so then I have 2 pieces of Sahara Sand, and these actually measure 4 inches by 5 1/4. One is for the inside. I felt like it was light enough to be able to write on and not have it be like a Whisper White or a Very Vanilla. So I went ahead and just kept with that same Sahara Sand. And I have the 2 pieces. One is for the front, one is for the inside. So on the front, we're actually going to do that corner piece. So I'm doing this one here, which is the one that I feel like looks like wheat or grass or something like that. And I'm going to let you guys decide. Do you think I should use Sahara Sand or Mossy Meadow to stamp these in opposing corners? So cast your vote. Let me know, Sahara Sand or Mossy Meadow. Which color do you think I should use? I actually, in my other samples, I used both. And so we're just going to see what you guys think I should use. And then I'll show you the opposing one with the rest of the samples. So let me know whether you want me to use Sahara Sand, which would be tone on tone, or Mossy Meadow, which would coordinate with the Mossy Meadow card base to do the corner image. Mossy Meadow, that's the one we're going with then. Okay, so I am inking this up, making sure, since it is quite a solid image, I want to make sure that it is nice and inked up all over. And then we're just going to stamp it down. I will say that I think by making more of these, I will get out my Stamparatus, because then I know that it's in the right spot each time, and all I have to do is flip it, stamp, flip it, stamp. But I did not use my Stamparatus for my samples that I've already made, and of course I'm not using it right now. And stamp it down. And it's okay if they're a little off. I really don't think you notice that much once you do the rest of it. Okay, so now this is ready to go. Fairly basic, fairly simple. And I'm just going to add this to my card front. And then for the greeting, I actually took a scrap piece of Mossy Meadow. This might not even be enough. And one of my favorite punches. And right now I'm drawing a blank on which one this is. This is the Label Me Lovely punch. I'm almost positive. I'll put it in the description box after I do this video of which punch this is. I love this punch because I love to layer with it. And I really felt like this card needed a little bit more pop of color. So first I punched one out in the Mossy Meadow. See, used up that scrap perfectly. And then I took another scrap piece of Sahara Sand and I punched out, you can punch out a full one and trim it off, but you can also just punch out, I just want that, like that center rectangle. So I'm just going to punch out like a portion of it and I'll show you what I cut off. Scissors. Okay, so I'm going to trim from here all the way across. And then the top side, there's more to trim off there all the way across. And you'll see that this piece is the center of that punch. How cool is that? Two different looks from one same punch. You could also layer it like this for a different look and just to mix it up. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my happy birthday, and we're going to do that in the Mossy Meadow as well. I want to make sure my comments are scrolling because I feel like they hardly ever do. If you're just jumping on, welcome to Laura's Dose of Stamping Therapy. I am making some masculine birthday cards using one of the Celebration $50 level stamp sets, which is called Corner Bouquet. Don't forget, Celebration ends at the end of this month, which is like, I mean, part of me is thinking it's like right around the corner, but we're not even to the halfway point yet. But I'm just being excited or overly excited because I can't wait till March because that's baby month. Okay, so there we have our greeting, and that's gonna go right in the middle. But I wanted to add a little bit more texture and a little bit more oomph to it. So of course I'm gonna use Stampin' Dimensionals, but I also decided to use linen thread. Linen thread is kind of like my go-to masculine ribbon because I kind of feel like most ribbons are a little foo-foo-y, and linen thread just seems rustic, and a lot of times I don't always tie it into a bow. I tie it into a knot, or I do this technique. So this technique, I just wrap it around my fingers. I'm holding the ends, both of the ends, with my thumb and pinky. So then I'm going to slide the loops off and twist it into a figure 8. So now we have our figure 8. And then I'm just going to place it on the back, making sure that it angles opposite of the way my greenery, flowers, my corner stamp is. So I'm going to go ahead and place a dimensional down over top of it. And you can see this one end is trying to sneak away, but that's okay. So now I'm just going to like fan them out a little bit, securing it with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to grab that end, loop him around, and stick it down. And you guys all know I'm a dimensional overuser, so of course I'm going to use a lot. Fanning these out, but also placing dimensionals in spots to secure this piece to my card front. We're going to do one more over here because it just looks like a naked spot. So there we go. So you guys all get to vote again on the inside decoration. Should I use Sahara Sand or Mossy Meadow? So now we're just going to place this in the center. And there we have a fabulous masculine card. But Mossy Meadow and Night of Navy are very dark colors to be able to not to stamp on, to write on the inside. So that's where that second piece of Sahara Sand comes in. Again, this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I am going to stamp the coordinating greeting that goes with the peaceful moments. This is wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. And that I'm going to stamp in Mossy Meadow. So again, let me know in the comments, do you think I should do this greenery piece in Mossy Meadow or Sahara Sand? Just a subtle look or go all out? That's a little crooked, but as I write, I usually kind of write diagonally, so I don't think anybody will notice. Hi, Denise. Welcome. I hope all is well down in Texas. So should this be Mossy Meadow or Sahara Sand? Cast your vote. Here's the card front. So this will be the inside. I already did the greeting in Mossy Meadow. So we could either coordinate it with more Mossy Meadow, or we could also do it completely different and go with that subtle like watermark look of the leaf in Sahara Sand. Sahara Sand is our vote. That is what we're going to go with. And so this is also something that I did a couple different ways with the samples I already made. I don't mind getting ink on my table. The worst part is getting ink on it and then flipping over your piece of paper to add adhesive and getting some ink on the front. So I'm going to bring in this scrap piece and we're just going to add some of these leaves down in the bottom, a little left, a little to the right, a little short, a little longer, and to the top. Nothing extravagant, just a little extra foo-foo on the inside to bring it all together. Of course, you could always stamp your envelope with a very similar pattern to really bring it all together and coordinate everything. And now we have our masterpiece, and I'll show you the other samples that I did. I actually did all of the insides in different patterns, so I'm super excited about that. Well, I'm glad everyone voted Sahara Sand. Okay, so here is our final card. Sahara Sand and Mossy Meadow with a little bit of linen thread and the inside. My other one, I did the very similar way with that Mossy Meadow, but the inside I did with Mossy Meadow. So you can see similar but different. So this one I used all Mossy Meadow. This one I pulled in the 2 ink pads. And then I'll show you my Night of Navy. This one I did Night of Navy with Sahara Sand. And then on the inside, I did Night of Navy. And I did it just peeking off to the side. And my greeting is actually over to the right-hand side. So like I kind of have this much room rather than the full space to write my greeting. And then the last one, I actually didn't use the linen thread. I used some of that denim ribbon, and I just did a diagonal strip. I almost did two, but then I just felt like that looked like too much. So I just did a little piece of that denim ribbon. I feel like that's perfect because it's a great way to use up your scraps. Like when you have that little bit on the end of a spool, or you have, you know, just a little bit that you want to use because you're making multiples and don't have 500 spools of the same ribbon, or just to mix it up and have fun. And then this one, I have Sahara Sand on the inside, and I did the four corners. So you can see I used Sahara Sand, Mossy Meadow, and Night of Navy, and did totally different looks on the inside. You could also do all of these looks on the card front too, if you wish. And then of course the card fronts look like that. I'll show you the navy with the Sahara Sand and the linen thread. So these were all made with the Corner Bouquet stamp set. This is one of the $50 level celebration stamp sets. It's very, I feel like it's very like rusticy looking. So it's very subtle and nice with this one. I also think it would look super fabulous with that other greeting stamp set with all the healing words on it. Of course, I'm not finding it right now. Ooh. I didn't really need any. Let me see if it's over here. Apparently not. I'm not sure what I did. Oh, here it is. Heal Your Heart. So this one has that gorgeous scroll to it. And while I do need thank you cards, I didn't really need a lot of like sympathy, as I made a whole bunch of those maybe a month or two ago. So I feel like I still have a decent stash of that. It always seems like my cards, like I have a whole bunch of sympathy and thinking of you right now. And my birthday is kind of dwindling. And then later, my birthday will be increased and I'll be needing anniversary. And then my anniversary will increase. So yeah, I definitely go in like waves because I'm not always making cards for all occasions right now. But I do think this one would look awesome with this style or with these two together. Both of these are celebration stamp sets that you can earn for free. So you could get both of these with a $100 order, or you could get them with two $50 orders, or whatever combination you want. But don't forget that celebration does end at the end of February. Normally it goes through the end of March, but Stampin' Up! Is doing celebration again in the middle of the summer. So that's super exciting. And so then they cut down 1 month here at the beginning of the year. So just want to give a reminder because I feel like that's coming up so fast. And if you have been a customer of Stampin' Up's for a long time, then it's going to kind of catch you off guard a little bit. As even myself, I'm just like, okay, don't forget, Laura, don't forget. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to check out some of my episodes of Laura's Daily Dose of Stamping Therapy. You can also check me out on my blog, laurastamppad.com, and check out my YouTube channel. I do have a couple other designer series paper reveals that will be going up soon on my YouTube channel. So you can check those out so you can see the full spectrum of a sheet of designer series paper instead of just that little bitty, corner or triangle that they have in the mini catalogs. So go over there, check that out. I have an entire playlist with designer series paper reveals, so you can see that, as well as lots of other techniques and inspiration. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm. I know here in Illinois it is really cold out there. All of the drinks that we set out for delivery people busted. And Brad said he heard one of them last night and it sounded like a gunshot going off. So I hope our neighbors aren't scared. But our entire front patio was coated in soda slush. So that was super fun. I think we might be done with setting out beverages for our delivery people until it warms up again. But yeah, definitely stay safe and stay warm and stay healthy. Love, hugs, and prayers to all of you guys. Have a wonderful day. Happy Monday and happy stamping. Bye-bye.